Good evening, everyone. Let me ask you something. How many of you woke up this morning with a fire in your belly? How many of you opened your eyes and thought, this is the day I change everything? Or did you just roll out of bed, let the alarm snooze, and tell yourself, maybe tomorrow? The greatest illusion we tell ourselves is that the perfect moment exists, that someday conditions will align and everything will fall into place. We convince ourselves that we need more time, more resources, or more clarity before we can act. This mindset keeps us stagnant, paralyzed by indecision, waiting for external forces to give us the green light. But here's the truth. The perfect moment is a myth, a fantasy we create to justify our inaction. The only moment you truly have is the one staring you in the face right now. The concept of waiting for the right time is often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. But let's call it what it really is: procrastination disguised as planning. Sure, it's easy to tell yourself, I'll do it when I feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. It's a choice to say, I'm going to start now, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect. Because taking action isn't about waiting for confidence or clarity to magically appear. It's about creating them through movement, through doing, through trial and error. Think about the times in your life when you hesitated, when you held yourself back because you thought you weren't ready. Did waiting bring you closer to your goals, or did it create more distance? The truth is, every moment spent waiting is a moment wasted. Every day you delay is another day you're not living up to your potential. Success doesn't come to those who sit idly by, hoping for a better opportunity. It comes to those who are willing to take the first step, no matter how small, and then keep stepping, even when the path ahead is unclear. The beauty of taking action now is that it builds momentum. Action breeds clarity. When you start moving, you gain insights you couldn't have predicted. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. You learn what works and what doesn't. But none of this happens if you stay stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every detail and convincing yourself that you need more preparation. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence, a willingness to embrace the unknown, and the courage to get started, even when conditions aren't ideal. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. The world keeps moving, opportunities keep passing by, and the clock keeps ticking. Time is the one resource you can't get back, so why waste it waiting for circumstances to align? Why waste it imagining what could be instead of creating what can be? You don't need everything to be perfect to begin. You don't need to have all the answers to take the first step. What you need is to recognize that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your willingness to act. It's not about making the leap all at once. It's about taking that first step, no matter how small, and then the next and the next. Each step you take brings you closer to your goal, even if you stumble along the way. And you will stumble. You will face setbacks and challenges, but those are part of the process. They're not signs that you should stop. They're signs that you're moving, that you're growing, that you're making progress. Waiting for the perfect moment is like standing on the shore waiting for the tide to recede completely before you dive in. You'll never dive in because the tide never fully disappears. There will always be obstacles, uncertainties, and reasons to wait. But those who succeed are the ones who dive in anyway, who take action despite the challenges, who refuse to let fear or doubt hold them back. They understand that the only way to achieve anything meaningful is to start, to take that first step, even if it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Every dream, every goal, every vision you have for your life starts with a single decision, the decision to act. You don't need permission, and you don't need perfect conditions. All you need is to choose, right here and right now, to take action. Because when you do, you set a chain reaction in motion. You create momentum, and that momentum carries you forward, closer to the life you've always envisioned. But it starts with the choice to act, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Success is not something that falls into your lap by chance or luck. It's not a gift that's handed out to a chosen few. It's earned, and it's earned through relentless effort, discipline, and commitment. Many people want success, but far fewer are willing to do what it takes to achieve it. They look at others who've made it and assume those individuals were just lucky, that they were at the right place at the right time. They were in the right place at the right time, and those are the days they trained hard, went to locker room and the gym. But what they don't see is the grind, the late nights, the sacrifices, and the sheer determination it took to get there. The truth is, success doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your circumstances or your past. It responds only to one thing: action. Consistent, focused action. It's not about working hard for a day or a week or even a month. It's about showing up every single day no matter what. It's about putting in the work when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when nothing seems to be going your way. Because success doesn't reward effort, it rewards results. And results only come when you push yourself beyond what's comfortable, when you refuse to settle for anything less than your best. Earning success requires you to step outside your comfort zone, to do the things that others won't. While others are sleeping, you're working. While others are making excuses, you're finding solutions. While others are waiting for opportunities, you're creating them. This isn't about talent or intelligence or resources. It's about resilience, grit, and the willingness to keep going when things get tough. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's built over time, brick by brick, through small, seemingly insignificant actions that compound into something extraordinary. But here's the catch. It's easy to talk about success, to dream about it, to imagine how great life would be if you had it. What's hard is doing the work. What's hard is staying disciplined when no one is watching, when there's no immediate payoff, when it feels like your efforts aren't making a difference. This is where most people give up. They want the rewards, but they're not willing to endure the struggle. They want the results, but they're not willing to put in the time. They quit when it gets hard, and then they wonder why success seems so out of reach. The reality is, success demands more from you than you might think you're capable of. It demands sacrifice. It demands that you let go of the distractions, the comfort, the easy way out. It demands that you stay focused, even when everything around you is trying to pull you off course. And it's not a one-time effort. It's a daily commitment to show up, to push harder, to be better than you were yesterday. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard, refusing to accept mediocrity, and doing whatever it takes to reach your goals. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when you question whether it's all worth it. And in those moments, you have to remind yourself why you started. You have to dig deep and find the strength to keep going, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. Because the truth is, success isn't supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would have it. But the fact that it's hard is what makes it valuable. It's what separates those who talk about what they want from those who actually go out and get it. Success also requires you to take responsibility. You can't blame others for your failures or expect someone else to do the work for you. You have to own your journey, your choices, your actions. No one else is going to do it for you, and no one else is going to care as much as you do. This is your life, your dream, your vision, and if you want it badly enough, you'll find a way to make it happen, no matter what obstacles stand in your way. Success doesn't care about your excuses or your fears. It doesn't care about how tired you are or how unfair life seems. It cares about what you're willing to do, how far you're willing to go, and how much you're willing to sacrifice to achieve it. It's not about waiting for the right time or the perfect opportunity. It's about taking action, staying disciplined, and doing the hard work that others won't. In either case, because in the end, success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who earn it. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that holds people back from achieving their goals and living their dreams. It disguises itself as caution, as practicality, as reason, but at its core, fear is a liar. It tells you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you're not capable. It whispers every worst-case scenario into your mind and convinces you that staying where you are, in your comfort zone, is safer than taking the risk to pursue what you truly want. But here's the truth. Fear is not real. It's a story your mind creates, a false narrative designed to keep you from stepping into the unknown. And the only way to overcome it is to rewrite that story. The first step to conquering fear is recognizing it for what it is, an emotion, not a fact. Just because you feel fear doesn't mean the danger is real. Your mind is wired to protect you, to avoid pain and discomfort, but that same instinct can also trap you in a cycle of inaction. Fear feeds on doubt, and doubt thrives in inaction. The longer you wait, the stronger it grows. It builds walls around your potential, convincing you that you're stuck, that the risks are too high, that failure is inevitable. But the moment you take action, even a small step, those walls begin to crumble. Action is the antidote to fear. Fear often shows up when you're about to do something that matters. It's a sign that you're stepping into new territory, that you're growing, that you're pushing the limits of what you thought was possible. The presence of fear doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It means you're on the right one. It means you're doing something that challenges you, something that has the potential to change your life. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to learn how to move forward in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act in the face of it. Fear loves to exaggerate. It magnifies the risks, amplifies the obstacles, and minimizes your ability to overcome them. It tells you that failure will be catastrophic, that people will judge you, that you'll never recover. But the reality is almost never as bad as the fear makes it out to be. Failure is rarely fatal, and more often than not, it's a stepping stone to success. The mistakes you make along the way teach you valuable lessons. Lessons you could never learn by playing it safe. Each time you face your fear and move forward, you build resilience, confidence, and strength. Another way fear lies to you is by making you believe you're alone in it. You look at others who seem fearless, who appear to have it all together, and you think they must be different. But the truth is, everyone feels fear. The difference is that successful people don't let it stop them. They acknowledge it, but they don't give it power. They understand that fear is a natural part of growth and that the only way to conquer it is to confront it head on. Fear also tries to convince you to wait until you're ready, until you have more experience, until the timing is better. But the truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. There will always be uncertainty, always be risk, always be a part of you that feels unprepared. Waiting only gives fear more time to grow. The longer you hesitate, the harder it becomes to take that first step. The way to defeat fear is to act now, even if you feel uncertain, even if you don't have all the answers. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Fear thrives on inaction and hesitation, but it can't survive in the face of courage and persistence. And the more you challenge it, the weaker it becomes. Each time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand it. Each time you do something that scares you, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. Fear loses its grip when you take control, when you stop letting it dictate your decisions and start living on your terms. Fear wants to keep you small. It wants to keep you safe, comfortable, and confined. But nothing extraordinary happens inside your comfort zone. Growth, success, fulfillment, these things live on the other side of fear. To reach them, you have to be willing to feel the fear and move forward anyway. You have to trust that the discomfort of facing your fear is temporary, but the rewards of overcoming it are lasting. In my episode with Jen Reporter, I want us to absorb a reminder of the growth and possibility. Fear may never disappear entirely, but you can choose not to listen to its lies. You can choose to act, to move forward, to rewrite the story it tells you. Failures are often seen as setbacks, as moments of defeat that should be avoided at all costs, but the truth is, failure is one of the most powerful tools for growth and success. It's not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. Every failure carries a lesson, a key to unlocking your potential, if you're willing to see it that way. The problem is that most people don't. They see failure as the end, as proof that they weren't good enough or that they should give up. Energy. But failure is never final unless you allow it to be. It's a necessary part of the process, a natural and inevitable step on the journey to achieving anything worthwhile. Think about it. How do you learn? How do you grow? Growth doesn't come from doing things perfectly the first time. It comes from trial and error, from pushing your limits and figuring out what works and what doesn't. Failure isn't a sign of weakness. It's evidence that you're trying, that you're taking risks, that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. People who avoid failure at all costs also avoid progress. They stay in their safe little bubble, never venturing out, never testing their abilities. But those who embrace failure, who see it as a teacher rather than an enemy, are the ones who rise above and achieve greatness. Failure teaches you more than success ever will. Success can sometimes make you complacent, make you think you've got it all figured out, but failure forces you to reflect, to analyze, to dig deep and find the areas where you need to improve. It gives you the feedback you need to grow stronger, sharper, and more resilient. Every mistake you make, every setback you experience is a piece of the puzzle. It's a lesson in persistence, a reminder that progress isn't linear and that the path to success is rarely a straight line. The fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people hold themselves back. They're so afraid of looking foolish, of making a mistake, of falling short that they don't even try. But the irony is that failure is unavoidable. If you're doing anything worth doing, if you're chasing big dreams or setting ambitious goals, you're going to fail at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The question isn't whether you'll fail, but how you'll respond when you do. Will you let it define you, or will you use it to refine you? Failure also builds resilience. It teaches you how to handle adversity, how to adapt, and how to keep going when things don't go as planned. Every time you fail and get back up, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. You're building the mental toughness that will carry you through even greater challenges in the future. Failure strips away the illusion of perfection and reminds you that growth comes from struggle, from discomfort, from pushing past your limits. Some of the most successful people in history are also the ones who have failed the most. They didn't achieve greatness because they avoided failure. They achieved it because they embraced it. They understood that every setback was an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. They didn't let failure stop them. They used it as fuel to keep going. They didn't see failure as a reflection of their worth, but as a necessary part of the process. Failure also forces you to confront your fears and insecurities. It exposes the gaps in your skills, your mindset, your approach. And while that might be uncomfortable, it's also incredibly valuable. It gives you a clear picture of where you need to improve and what you need to do differently next time. Without failure, you wouldn't have the clarity or the motivation to make those changes. Embracing failure means understanding that it's not a destination, but a part of the journey. It's not something to be avoided, but something to be welcomed. Because every failure brings you closer to success. Every mistake you make is a lesson learned, a step forward, a building block for the future. The only true failure is giving up, refusing to try, or letting fear keep you from taking action. Failure is a sign that you're in the game, that you're trying, that you're growing. It's proof that you're alive, that you're pursuing something that matters. No one is coming to save you. This is one of the hardest truths to accept, but also one of the most liberating. For too long, many people wait for someone else to step in and fix their problems, to open doors for them, to give them the opportunities they feel they deserve. They wait for a mentor, a partner, a leader, or even just a stroke of luck to guide them to success. But the reality is, life doesn't work that way. If you're waiting for someone else to rescue you, you're wasting precious time. Your success, your happiness, your progress, these are your responsibilities, and no one is going to care about them as much as you do. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances or other people for where you are in life. Maybe you weren't given the same opportunities as someone else. Maybe life has thrown you challenges that seem unfair or insurmountable. And while those things may be true, they don't change the fact that you are the one who has to take charge. Life isn't fair, and waiting for fairness to find you will only keep you stuck. Blaming others or hoping for external intervention shifts the power away from you. When you accept that no one is coming to save you, you take back that power. This realization forces you to take ownership of your life. Ownership means accepting that where you are today is the result of your choices, your habits, and your mindset. It's not about blaming yourself for every challenge you've faced, but about recognizing that you have the power to change your situation. No matter how difficult your circumstances are, there's always something you can do to move forward. But that requires you to stop waiting, stop hoping for someone else to do the work for you, and start taking action. When you take full responsibility for your life, something incredible happens. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and start feeling like the author of your story. You realize that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. You can control the effort you put in, the attitude you choose, and the steps you take to move closer to your goals. Because that one mistake may have been mistakes once, it can be failures, it can be trials. Responsibility is empowering because it reminds you that your life is in your hands. Taking responsibility also means letting go of excuses. It's tempting to justify inaction by pointing to all the things that are out of your control. You don't have enough time, you don't have enough resources, you weren't given the same opportunities as someone else. But the truth is, those excuses are holding you back. They're keeping you from seeing the opportunities that are right in front of you. The moment you stop making excuses, you open the door to solutions. You stop focusing on what you don't have and start leveraging what you do have. No one is coming to save you, but that doesn't mean you're alone. It means that the responsibility for taking the first step lies with you. Once you take ownership, you'll find that others are willing to support you, but only if they see you're serious about helping yourself. People are drawn to those who are proactive, determined, and willing to put in the work. But if you're sitting on the sidelines, waiting for someone else to carry you, you'll be waiting forever. Accepting that no one is coming to save you also means embracing the discomfort of growth. Change is hard. It requires you to do things that scare you, to confront your weaknesses, to step outside your comfort zone. But that discomfort is where growth happens. It's where you discover your strength, your resilience, and your ability to overcome challenges. No one else can do that work for you. It's up to you to face the hard truths, to put in the effort, and to keep pushing forward, even when it feels impossible. This mindset doesn't mean you can't seek help or learn from others. In fact, seeking guidance is a sign of strength. But there's a difference between seeking help to grow and relying on others to carry you. The former is about taking initiative and using resources wisely. The latter is about avoiding responsibility and hoping someone else will do the work for you. If you truly want to succeed, you have to lead your own journey. You have to be the one who decides to take action, no matter how hard it feels or how uncertain the path may seem. Every step you take, every decision you make, every action you choose brings you closer to the life you want. But it starts with you. No one else is going to wake up every day and fight for your dreams the way you can. No one else is going to feel the fire inside you, the hunger for something greater. That's your responsibility, and it's your power. The sooner you accept that no one is coming to save you, the sooner you can start saving yourself. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the foundation on which all success is built, the quiet force that moves you forward when motivation fades and the excitement of starting something new wears off. Discipline isn't glamorous and it doesn't come with instant gratification. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in, putting in the work when no one is watching, and choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it, because you understand that consistency and effort are non-negotiable for achieving your goals. Most people underestimate the power of discipline because it doesn't feel dramatic or exciting. It's not about massive sweeping changes. It's about small, deliberate actions repeated day after day. It's choosing to stick to your routine even when the results aren't visible yet. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when progress feels slow and the temptation to quit feels strong. It's the commitment to show up, no matter how you feel, and to trust the process even when it's hard. Discipline requires sacrifice. It means giving up the things that don't serve your goals, even when they're tempting or enjoyable. It's choosing to work on your craft instead of scrolling through social media. It's saying no to distractions, to easy shortcuts, to anything that takes you off course. Sacrifice isn't easy, and it doesn't always feel good in the moment. But every sacrifice you make is an investment in your future, a step closer to the life you're working to create. Discipline is the ability to see past the immediate moment and focus on the bigger picture, to prioritize what truly matters over what feels good right now. The beauty of discipline is that it builds momentum. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Each small action you take, each promise you keep to yourself strengthens your ability to stay on track. Discipline creates habits, and habits shape your life. When you make discipline a part of who you are, you no longer have to rely on willpower or motivation to get things done. It becomes automatic, a part of your identity, something you do because it's simply who you are. Discipline also teaches you resilience. It's not just about sticking to the plan when everything is going well. It's about staying committed when things go wrong, when obstacles arise, when you're faced with setbacks. Discipline is what keeps you grounded and focused, even in the face of adversity. It's what allows you to keep moving forward one step at a time, even when the path is uncertain or challenging. Discipline gives you the strength to persevere, to push through the hard times, and to come out stronger on the other side. There will be days when discipline feels like a burden, when the effort it requires feels overwhelming. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when you prove to yourself what you're capable of, when you strengthen your commitment and your resolve. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it and giving your best effort even when it's hard. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to build confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted, that you have the strength and the determination to follow through. Confidence doesn't come from achieving a goal. It comes from the process of working toward it, from the discipline and effort you put in every day. The more disciplined you are, the more confident you become in your ability to handle challenges, to stay focused, and to achieve your goals. Discipline is a skill, not a talent. It's not something you're born with. It's something you develop through practice and effort. The more you train yourself to be disciplined, the easier it becomes. It's not about willpower or motivation. It's about creating a system, a structure, a set of habits that keep you on track. Discipline is about taking control of your life, about deciding that your goals and dreams are worth the effort, the sacrifice, and the commitment. And it's about becoming the person who does what needs to be done no matter what. The power to transform your life lies entirely in your hands. You have the ability to step beyond your fears, overcome failures, and take full ownership of your journey. No one else will come to rescue you, and no amount of waiting or hoping will change your circumstances. Your dreams require courage, discipline, and unwavering action, even when the path is uncertain and the obstacles feel insurmountable. Success isn't built on fleeting motivation or perfect conditions. It's built on consistent effort, resilience, and the decision to take control of your destiny. Every failure is a lesson, every challenge an opportunity, and every step forward a declaration that you are capable of greatness. Make the decision today to stop waiting, stop hesitating, and start making it happen. Your future is waiting for you to claim it, one deliberate, determined action at a time.